Well, Lauren, it's always been pretty much understood that lethal force is a last resort for officers. But today, Mayor Frey and Chief Arredondo spelled it out. Officers here in Minneapolis will be required to start everything at the lowest level of force to safely make an arrest.
Sanctity of life is the cornerstone of how we are guided as a police department.
Chief Arredondo and Mayor Frey laid out a new set of rules for officers that go beyond what state and federal laws allow in terms of justified use of force.
Even with non-deadly force situations, using a minimum level of force is essential for building community trust.
Minneapolis officers will be required to use the lowest level of force to safely make an arrest. Even unholstering a gun is something officers will be required to explain and report to superiors.
That's a threatening use of force, and we had not captured that ever before. And so it'll be new for our department members, but I think it speaks to trying to build that public trust.
The new policy also bars officers from shooting at a moving vehicle unless it's threatening a crowd of bystanders or trying to mow down officers.
Officers will continue to be expected to exercise sound judgment, even and especially in tense situations.
Now, those new rules also require officers to differentiate between suspects who are passively resisting and ignoring officers' commands versus those who are actively resisting or trying to break free from an officer. In other words, cases in which suspects are restrained, which was the case in George Floyd's situation, those will be looked at with more scrutiny, and the use of force will be scrutinized more carefully when the suspects are already restrained. Back to you.
All right, John, thank you.